The federal government has condoled with families of the victims of the Anambra, Abuja and Ibadan stampedes. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who conveyed the condolences, however, cautioned those politicizing the unfortunate incident, saying Tinubu's reset of the economy has nothing to do with the stampede's death. Idris said, "Our thoughts and prayers are with the victims, their families, and all those affected by these unfortunate incidents." The minister said the tragedies were deeply saddening and underscored the importance of ensuring proper crowd management during such charitable activities, especially during the festive season. Acknowledging the notable intentions of organizers seeking to bring relief to vulnerable members of society, the minister admonished all individuals and organizations planning similar events to comply with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetukun, on liaising with the police formations for effective crowd control and security measures. In the face of rising death tolls from stampedes in different parts of the country, the Lagos State government has mandated charitable organizers to engage with its Safety Commission to forestall stampedes. The Director General of the Lagos State Safety Commission, Larry Mojala, who gave the automation, said the state government is doing everything to prevent accidents of any form in public places. He explained that individuals, religious and corporate bodies that wish to hold any form of event in the state must register with the Lagos State Safety Commission or face the full wrath of the law. The state government also called on event organizers to make adequate preparations for crowd control before embarking on any philanthropic gestures and events to forestall stampedes. The Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, has condemned a recent spate of stampedes at food distribution centers across the country, resulting in the loss of at least 67 lives. In a statement, CAN President Daniel Oko expressed heartfelt sympathies to the families of the victims and described the incidents as a troubling pattern. The stampedes occurred in Abuja, Anambra, and Oyo, with the latest incident happening at Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Abuja, where 10 people lost their lives. Well, earlier we're joined by public policy expert Kenneth Ikenwa, who shed light on key ways to prevent the incidents of stampede deaths.
Actually speaks to about 3 or 4 major issues which we must bring to the fore. The first is the poverty rate in Nigeria. If we didn't have a humongous poverty rate in the excess of about 60 to 70%, both multidimensional poverty and abject poverty, we won't be having people rushing to places like this just to get a derrick of rice, a derrick of beans for their living. Second, it speaks to the deepening low level of economic freedom in this country. It means that the freedom with which people are supposed to move from one level or state of standard of living to the other is getting darker and darker, and the economic hardship actually tells us more about why this is the situation. And there is a lack of distributive justice, and that is why we see that rather than bring so many people out of poverty with the kind of resources that we have, we are taking them further and further into poverty. And finally, very pathetically, it is a justification for what ought not to be in Nigeria, which is reversed Pareto optimality. And what does that mean? There's reverse social efficiency. Events like this, for instance, are supposed to come with a lot of marginal social benefits, but we are beginning to see that they are coming with marginal social cost, and the cost elongating itself, extending itself to taking a lot of...
Let's still talk about the recent stampedes. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has described the 3 recent food stampedes in Nigeria as an ugly testament to the alarming level of misery, poverty, hunger, starvation, sense of hopelessness, and desperation for survival currently plaguing our nation under the President Bola Tinubu-led All Progressives Congress government. In a statement on Sunday, PDP spokesman Debo Ologunagba said the tragic stampedes at private food distribution events in Oyo and Anambra States, as well as Abuja, which claimed the lives of over 60 citizens, could have been averted. The PDP commiserated with the families of the victims of the 3 food queue stampedes and called for urgent medical attention for the survivors. A fun-fair event intended to bring joy to thousands of children in Ibadan, Oyo State, ended in tragedy on the 18th of December as 35 children lost their lives in a stampede. The incident occurred at an Islamic high school in the heart of Ibadan, where the event was held. News Central's Igbalaniyo Moniyi provides further details as it takes us deep into the story.
According to Eyewitness, the venue, an Islamic high school in Ibadan, Oyo State, was overwhelmed with residents from far and near, all attempting to gain entry for their children. Many had arrived a day before the event, with some even sleeping at the venue in anticipation. The event, which was meant to be a private fun fair for approximately 5,000 children aged 1 to 13, was reportedly free, with rumors of promised gifts or items. However, these rumors remained unconfirmed. Sadly, the stampede resulted in the loss of 35 young lives, with 6 children currently undergoing treatment.
So time yẹn Oríyọmí wá kọjá Àgídìgbò bó ṣe wá kọjá so àwọn èèyàn ṣáà pariwo máa yẹn wá padà lọ kò pẹ́ là ń gbọ́ lórí station tó ń pariwo pé àwọn ò ṣe pátí mọ́ pé àwọn èèyàn táwọn need ó ti tó bọ́ kán tó wọ́n ṣe ń dé àwọn èèyàn ṣáà fi mọ́tò wọ́n fi ń kó wọn wá.
Èrò mọ́tò wo ló fi ń kó àwọn èèyàn?
Wọ́n fi fẹ́ǹsà gbé wọn wá wọ́n lo Highlander oríṣiríṣi mọ́tò travel mọ́tò tó ń lọ sí Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ so kò pẹ́ lẹ́yìn ìgbà yẹn láṣàrí tí wọ́n lọ sí gate pé Oríyọmí ti dé èmi ò mọ̀ bóyá inú gate náà gbà wọlé or anywhere wọ́n ṣe sí gate àwọn àgbàlagbà èrò yẹn ti pọ̀ jù wọ́n ṣàn tẹ àwọn ọmọ mọ́lẹ̀.
ọmọ mi ò tí pọ̀ ọmọ 20 years ó kọ́ ọmọ 4-5 dání kí ló fẹ́ fi bọ́ kò sí kírú ẹ̀ má ṣẹlẹ̀ kó dẹ̀ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan ọmọ yẹn kú 99% wọn tọ́mọ wọn kú kì í ṣe pé wọ́n kí ẹ̀ tó yẹn kì í ṣe bí àwọn tó wá sùn ṣe nǹkan kan wọn kí ẹ̀ tó yẹn o ẹnìkan ní láti máa sọ fún èmi wípé àti bíi 5 lòun ti gbọ́ news ipe káwọn máa wá pé ṣùgbọ́n òun náà débẹ̀ ẹni tí ọkàn ẹ̀ bá balẹ̀ kò ní dìde kó máa bọ̀ ńbẹ̀ kò ní wọ́ kò possible federal government ní kó wá nǹkan ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ kì í ṣe àwọn tó ṣe nǹkan kan kò níhùn kí pé wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ń ṣe nǹkan kan but iṣẹ́ yẹn ti pọ̀ jù ọ̀fẹ́ dẹ̀ tún ni but tí federal government bá wá nǹkan tí oúnjẹ bá wálẹ̀ gidi ráìsì gangan láyé ń jẹ jù.
The organizers of the event, including ex-Queen Naomi Shilekwala and publicist Oriyomi Hamzat of Agidigbo FM, have been arrested alongside the school's principal, Mr. Fasasi Abdullahi. Despite reports that approval for the event came from the Ministry of Education, the school has been locked down with no one present at the site. This tragic incident is the latest in the series of stampedes across the country, resulting in the loss of 67 lives within 4 days. Many attributed these incidents to the escalating cost of living in Nigeria.
And when they had maybe a free food anyway, everybody will go. So it's poverty and the high cost of living.
nǹkan tó yẹn bá fẹ́ ṣe tó yẹn bá wò pé bóyá èèyàn thousands ni mo fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan báyìí fún bóyá kéèyàn reduce ẹ̀ ọ̀ kéèyàn dẹ̀ lọ àkọ́kọ́ tó pàtàkì jù nísìnyí pé ibi tọ́rọ̀ ilé ìdódóró báyìí ó dáa kéèyàn lọ gbà approval tó gba approval a ní fún security máa wà fún àwọn nǹkan yìí láti ṣe.
ìyẹn ò mẹ́rin wàhálà tó pọ̀ ń lù àìríjẹ àrímu òṣì tó pọ̀ ló máa ń èèyàn pọ̀ lọ ọbẹ̀ láti sọ pé kí wọ́n rí nǹkan tó ń fi sẹ́nu.
As the nation mourns the loss of these young lives, there is a growing call for the federal government to address the issues of hunger and its underlying causes to prevent such tragedies from occurring in the future. In Ibadan, Oyo State, for News Central, I am Igbalani Omani.
Meanwhile, authorities on Sunday said the death toll from the stampede in Anambra State has risen to 22. Spokesman for the Anambra State Police Command, Tochukwu Ikenga, said the police have commenced an investigation into the incident. Ikenga, as a superintendent of police, said those who sustained injuries are receiving medical treatment. The stampede took place on Saturday during a rice distribution event at Amaranta Stadium in Ojika, Ihiala LGA. The event was organized by Obijackson Foundation. The Anambra Stampede was not the first to happen of recent, as the nation had previously recorded deaths from Abuja and Oyo stampedes in December. Shortly before the Anambra incident, another stampede occurred at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja, where 10 persons died. The federal government has declared Wednesday, December 25, Thursday, December 26, and Wednesday, January 1, 2025 as public holidays to mark Christmas, Boxing Day, and New Year celebrations. This announcement was made by the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunjojo, through a statement signed by the ministry's permanent secretary, Mondlane Ajani, on Monday. Tunjojo extended greetings to Nigerians, encouraging citizens to embrace the season's values of love, peace, and unity. He stated that Christmas season is being recognized as a time for both spiritual reflection and national renewal. As people celebrate the birth of Jesus, the Prince of Peace, there is a call for kindness and goodwill to be extended to one another, regardless of differences. He highlighted the need for Nigerians to strengthen familiar and community bonds, fostering harmony that contributes to national development. Coming up next, let's also tell you that Nigeria Police denies Amnesty International's report that they killed approximately 24 persons during a crackdown on End Bad Governance. Stay with us and get details of this story and more after this break. Thanks for staying with us. The Nigeria Police Force has denied allegations by Amnesty International in its recent report titled Bloody August, Nigeria's government's violent crackdown on End Bad Governance protests, which claims that approximately 24 persons were killed by the police across 6 northern states of the country. The force public relations officer Olumuyiwa Dejobi, while responding to the allegations, says that the Inspector General Police had initially ordered a comprehensive and independent investigation into the claims, but found out that the allegations by Amnesty International are false and misleading. He says that the 3 deaths in Borno State, which Amnesty International had attributed to police actions, were actually caused by an explosion, which was unrelated to the protests.
International claimed on pages 22 and 25 of its report that these 3 individuals died when a hand grenade was thrown into the filling station by a convoy of police vehicles. These allegations are not only false and misleading, but are also a clear attempt to incite the general public against the police and tarnish the image of Nigeria police force in the eyes of the international community. Reputable sources in Suleja and Tafa areas confirmed that nobody was killed by the police in Niger State on 1st August 2024. It is instructive to note that Amnesty International's claim was based solely on an unverified and disputed report published in Premium Times on 18th August.
With the festive season in full swing, transportation parks across the country are experiencing a surge in activity. In Abuja's Jabi Motor Park, located within the federal capital, travelers say the rise in transportation fares is biting hard on their budget. News Central's Joshua Marayi takes a closer look at the impact on commuters and transport operators alike.
Jabi Motor Park in Abuja's Municipal Area Council is bustling with activity as travelers depart the capital for various destinations. Typically less crowded, the park is now filled with Nigerians eager to take the journey back home in order to spend the Yuletide with their families and loved ones. Among them is Timmy Edwards, who, like many others, is contending with the increase in bus fares.
Like I said earlier this week, it was, I was going to Lokoja, it was 7,500, and today is 9,200. And tomorrow is still going to go, it's going to go more than this later.
These fares increases, though common during festive periods, are adding to the challenges faced by travelers like Joy Akko. She knows that the rise in petrol prices compared to other years has directly impacted the cost of interstate transportation.
Because of the increase in the fuel price, everything has hiked up. So the prices are way too high, but what can one do? Before, normally it used to be like 9,000, but I think presently now they say it's 13,000.
Speaking to one of the drivers at the motor park, he gives reasons why he thinks there is an increase in the price of interstate transportation fares.
During Christmas season, we are getting plenty more passenger, and some passenger will carry plenty goods, as what you see by yourself. Now, because of the fuel price, that is why the transport money was increased.
As the festive season approaches, the combination of rising petrol prices and increased passenger demand continues to impact transportation costs, leaving travelers to navigate these challenges as they journey to reunite with their loved ones. In Abuja for News Central, I am Joshua Imarai.
Let's move now to the north as Nigerians brace for the annual Christmas and New Year celebrations. The issue of escalating transport costs has once again taken center stage, with many citizens unable to afford the inflated fares for long-distance travel. Amid this crisis, the Borno State government's decision to offer free transportation to Christians traveling home for the holidays in the south east and other parts of Nigeria has reignited happiness to many. News Central's Umaru Kirawa tells us more.
It is that time of the year where Christians across the globe travel home to celebrate Christmas and New Year festivity with loved ones. Transport fares for buses, trains and flights usually surge in this season, with many travelers in major cities like Lagos and Abuja reporting that prices have nearly doubled compared to last year.
Just going to be here. That one used to go 6,500, now to 4,500 even. Now it's 9,000. So it doesn't matter. Let the price keep going up. People will survive, but let the government do something about it. This subsidy should come back. This subsidy, they should bring it back. Let those that are consuming, let them consume it.
So it's very difficult for people to travel now because of many things that is happening. So moving to eat food, they don't have.
Gloria Oji and Ngozi Mohammed in Nigeria's Borno State queue up among hundreds of travelers to gain access to a free ticket to travel back home Anambra State to celebrate the season with loved ones.
It's season, I have to go home, but I will miss Maiduguri because it is a peaceful state. It's unique. I love Maiduguri. In fact, I will miss Maiduguri. After the festive season, I'll be coming back.
The governor has been so kind to us for this free transport that he gives our people.
Other travelers and leadership of both the Igbos, Yoruba, among other ethnic groups who were opportune to access the free travels have this to say.
Considering the situation of the country now, most of our people here wouldn't have traveled.
For the past 5 years, Governor Zulum have been doing this, and the people, every non-indigenous in the state is indeed proud of what he has been doing.
Governor Zulum still remember the widows to put smile in their face. Each of them 50,000 naira to do their Christmas. The same people you see that are traveling this morning, each of them will get 50,000 naira to take care of their journey.
The government says it is part of a unifying initiative.
Those that are traveling today, they are part and parcel of Borno State, and inshallah we'll try as much as possible to see to it that they go home safely.
The Borno State free transport gesture has no doubt eased the burden of travel cost for some of the Christian community traveling to celebrate the season of happiness with their loved ones. In Maiduguri for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
Let's also tell you that Ubulu Kiti community in Anyocha, South local government area of Delta State, South Nigeria, has requested that the state governor, Sheriff Owerowori, and other relevant authorities intercede with the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, concerning the alleged arrest and disappearance of 3 notable men from the community resulting from a land-related feud between Ubulu Kiti community and Ogwashiuku Kingdom. News Central correspondent Austin Azu, who is monitoring the land dispute development between both communities, brings us details.
The Ubulu Kiti community and the Ogwashiuku Kingdom are embroiled in protracted land disputes, which led to angry youth chasing away Zone 5 police officers from Benin City, Edo State, stationed in the bush to prevent loggers from cutting down the economic trees and cash crops a few days ago. Though the state government has said a panel of inquiry has been set up and is almost ready with the white paper presentation. In a surprising turn of events, 3 prominent individuals from Ubulu Kiti community were reportedly arrested in the community in the dead of the night by an alleged police squad from Zone 5. The families of those arrested described how the alleged arrest was executed in a commando-style operation involving the forced breakage of their doors, destruction of windows, and the coerced removal of their husbands and kinsmen, along with their personal belongings.
I just hear, boy, open the door. You will take it for us. Open the door, open the door. I said, oh God, wait now. My dress up. Before I then break this one, enter inside the center room. Scatter everywhere. They just break the door, slap me, hit me for here. Then I come out, shouting, please everybody come out. I don't know those people that come and beat my husband though. They just carry him, enter inside motor, drove off.
When I'm sleeping, when I hear "Bua,"
I say, what is happening? I have to stand up. So immediately I just sneak out, watch. It becomes my elder brother's place. I have to turn around if I will alert people. So I continue making calls. So along the line, the next time I'm hearing, come out there, but the Sienna here is about 3. I look here, people are too much. There's nothing I can do.
Like all those damages, my laptop, I need my laptop back, and the ATM card. They took my dad. After they took my mom showed them where he is. Then they entered inside. According to them, they said they climbed through the gate. They climbed through the gate, opened it. Then they took my dad. Then they now released my mom. Now told her to start coming back. According to them, they said they've taken him to Benin, Zone 5.
A community leader and chief who alleged that the Obi of Obijackson Kingdom was responsible for the arrest and connected to the land ownership tussle appealed to the state governor, Sheriff Oborewori, and other relevant authorities to urge the Inspector General of Police to release their people and restore permanent peace to the disputed land between both communities.
Nobody sleeps in his house, so we don't sleep again. We sleep in the bush outside our house. So let government know what they're going to do for us. We don't know whether to fight them. If we fight them, we become against government.
Attempts to collaborate the alleged arrest from Zone 5 Benin City were unsuccessful, as all messages and phone calls to the zone's mouthpiece failed to generate feedback. Reporting from Obolokiti for News Central, I'm Austin Azu.
Thanks for staying with us here on News Now. Mozambique is bracing for the validation of disputed election results, with opposition leader Venancio Mondlane vowing chaos if the ruling Frelimo party is confirmed as the winner. The Constitutional Council is expected to announce its decision today, which could spark unrest in a country already rocked by violence that has claimed at least 130 lives. Mondlane claims the vote was rigged and has promised a new popular uprising if Frelimo's Daniel Chapo is declared the winner. The opposition leader has been in self-imposed exile since the assassination of his lawyer and has appealed to disenchanted younger voters in a country plagued by poverty despite its abundant resources. Tunisia's herb harvesters are struggling to find wild herbs due to droughts and rising temperatures. Women in the northwestern highlands who rely on the herbs for their livelihoods say they are earning half of what they used to. Tunisia produces around 10,000 tons of aromatic and medicinal herbs each year, but shrinking water resources and rare rainfall have reduced oil output. The country is in its 6th year of drought, with temperatures soaring past 50 degrees Celsius in some areas.
3 سنين التالي نقص خاطر نقص جفاف تغيرات فهمتني وصلي زاد نقص من التغيرات من جفاف كجي ربي يعطيه خيره راه الناس كلها بصالح تلقت والحمد لله يا رب شنو نقص
بل كنا ندخلوا مثلا نحو 3 شكاير نحو نحصلوا زيوت نخدموا تو ولت علمانيه خاطر ما سخانه برشا وسمش برشا ما عادش نجموا النبته في روحها ما عادش تعطي الزيت وهذا اثر على المنتوج نتاعنا على العائله وعلى الدخل. بالنسبه لنا نحن في التغير المناخ ثم امراض ظهرت في الغابات وثم حاجات معناها نحن بحكم طبيعتنا في الحياه كيفاش نتعاملوا مع الغابه نقولوا نبتعدوا على الغابه باش معناها ما نقصوش في وقت الذروه نتاع السخانه نتاعها باش ما تهلكش.
مصادقة على معاهدات في علاقة بالتغير المناخي، ولكن المشكلة أنه ديما تفعيلها على أرض الواقع ناقص، وخاصة في معناتها تبني مقاربة جندرية في علاقة بالتغيرات المناخية، لأنه نحن اليوم ماناش معرضين نفس الطريقة للتغيرات المناخية نساء ورجال، لأنه المرأة ديما هي اليوم في الواجهة وإلا في الصف الأول في تعرضها للتغيرات المناخية اللي عندها أكثر هشاشة، بحكم أنه هشاشتها ديجا في المناطق الريفية والمناطق الداخلية اقتصادية واجتماعية.
Well, let's tell you that Cyclone Chido has claimed the lives of at least 94 people in Mozambique, with over 110,000 homes destroyed. The storm's impact has been devastating, with over 620,000 people affected, mostly in the northern province of Cabo Delgado. The cyclone brought strong winds of up to 260 kilometers per hour and heavy rainfall of 250 millimeters in just one day. Mozambique is already grappling with a post-election crisis with opposition allegations of electoral fraud. The disasters also affected other countries, including Mayotte, where 35 people have been reported dead, and Malawi, where 13 people have lost their lives. Welcome back. At least 7 people have died after a light aircraft crashed on Sunday in a heavily forested area of Jalisco in western Mexico, according to local authorities reported. The aircraft, a Cessna 207, was flying from La Parota in the neighboring state of Michoacan. Jalisco's Civil Protection said via its social media that the crash site was in an area that was difficult to access. According to the service, the first responders on the site reported a preliminary count of 7 people dead who have not yet been identified. A man has been arrested in New York in connection with the death of a woman who was set on fire on a subway train in Brooklyn. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch described the incident on Sunday as one of the most depraved crimes one person could possibly commit against another human being. According to Tisch, the woman was on a stationary F train to Brooklyn when she was approached by a man who used a lighter to ignite her clothing. The victim died at the scene, adding that the suspect had been arrested following a tip-off from a group of high school students as he rode the subway later on Sunday. Let's also tell you that Ahmed al-Sharaa, the country's new leader, has urged the international community to remove the economic sanctions imposed on Syria due to the former regime's criminal conduct, which resulted in the deaths of its own citizens. During a joint press conference with visiting Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, he also stated that all weapons would fall under state control and that armed factions will begin to announce their dissolution and enter the army following future discussions with military and defense officials on a new military structure.
وأيضا على المجتمع الدولي أن يدفع باتجاه رفع العقوبات الاقتصادية التي لحقت بسوريا جراء تصرفات النظام المجرم النظام السابق الذي قام بتصرفات معينة كما رأيتم من قتله لشعبه، فنتج منه العقوبات الاقتصادية التي قامت عليه. نحن قمنا بعمل عسكري كبير ودخلنا إلى حواضر كبرى، والناس على العكس لاقتنا بترحاب كبير من جميع مكونات الشعب السوري. ونحن الآن نعمل على حماية الطوائف والأقليات أيضا من أن يحصل هناك اعتداء بيني فيما بينهم أو أن يستغل هذا المشهد أحد من الأدوات الخارجية لإثارة النعرات الطائفية. سوريا بلد للجميع ونحن نستطيع أن نتعايش مع بعضنا ونحن على علاقة وثيقة مع كل مكونات الشعب السوري، وهناك توافق كبير من جميع المكونات على إزالة هذا النظام والقيام بتأسيس لدولة جديدة إن شاء الله تليق بوضع المجتمع السوري وحال المجتمع السوري إقليميا ودوليا إن شاء الله.
The Nigerian government has announced the lifting of the 5-year ban on mining exploration in Zamfara State. Legon Obanjo has details and other stories in this business package.
The federal government of Nigeria has officially lifted the ban on mining exploration in Zamfara State over 5 years after the restriction was imposed due to security concerns. This decision comes on the back of significant improvements in the security situation across the state, marking a critical step towards reviving Zamfara's vast mineral potential. Announcing the development at a press briefing, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, underscored the economic importance of the state, which is home to abundant deposits of gold, lithium and copper. While acknowledging the necessity of the 2019 ban to address the ties between illegal mining and banditry, Alake noted that it inadvertently created opportunities for illegal activities that drained national resources. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized the 2025 federal budget, describing it as inadequate to address Nigeria's structural challenges and a recipe for economic stagnation. In a statement released via its official social media account, Atiku noted that 48 trillion naira budget with a revenue forecast of 35 trillion naira and a deficit exceeding 13 trillion naira represents a continuation of business as usual fiscal practices by the APC-led administration. The 2025 budget proposes over 13 trillion naira in new borrowings, including 9 trillion naira in direct borrowing and 4 trillion naira in project-specific loans. Atiku argued that this approach mirrors previous administrations and exacerbates public debt, increasing risks related to interest payments and foreign exchange exposure. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, says the price of petrol will drop to 935 naira per litre by Monday in view of Dangote Refinery's new arrangements. IPMAN said the new price was necessitated by the reduction in Dangote Refinery's fuel ex-depot price and uniform arrangement, which would enable marketers to sell at 935 naira in their outlets nationwide. Megandi Gadima, IPMAN national president, who made this known on Sunday in an interview in Abuja, lauded the Dangote Refinery for the developments. Dangote Refinery recently announced a significant reduction in fuel price by 7.27% from 970 naira per litre to 899 naira 50 kobo per litre at its loading gantry and provided generous credit terms to marketers. Finally, South Africa's biggest farm industry lobby said a probe into the statistics agency's methods showed that agriculture hadn't contracted as much as reported this year and called for a reform of the calculations. Agri-SA asked the Bureau for Food and Agricultural Policy to review Statistics SA's data after the agency said the farming sector contracted 15.5% in the first 9 months of the year and 28.8% in the third quarter, the most in 3 decades. That triggered an unexpected contraction of 0.3% in the nation's overall quarterly economic performance relative to the prior 3 months. BFAP's analysis released on Friday showed the farming industry has shrunk about 5% to 6% so far this year, and that Statistics South Africa should consider an upward revision of about 10.8 billion rand, that's about $590 million for agricultural gross domestic product after accounting for inflation. And that's all on business news. I am Likon Onobanjo.
Let's also tell you that Nigerians are expressing discontent with the country's economic downturn, particularly the decline of purchasing power as inflation rates reach an all-time high. With just 2 days to Christmas celebrations, there have been mixed reactions from traders regarding this year's celebration. News Central's Amazing Adesoya has more in this report.
Nigerians have continued to decry the poor state of the nation as purchasing power and overall economic downturn continues to linger. Recently, the Naira's ability to rise above the dollar remains a tall order. During the festive season, marketplaces boom and suddenly becomes a beehive of activities. Parents, guardians, businesses engage in last-minute shopping to the joyful glee of salesmen and women. However, there are concerns that this year's retail season may be met with very little spending power, as the recent NBS report shows Nigerians' inflation rate reaching an all-time high of 34.6% in November 2024.
Let me not say things are worst, but let me not use that word because it's not good. People are not coming out. It's not unlike last year. At least by this time last year, we've seen the sign that, yes, we want to celebrate Christmas. But this year, we've not seen anything. Market prices are high. The price changes is every day, not even week. It's every day.
Kíjọba ṣàánú wa, opó ni wá bá ṣe wà yìí. Kò sí ọkọ ti kú láti 30 years ago, ọkọ ti kú. Àwọn ọmọdé wa lé tán lọ léèwé tán ríṣẹ́. Kíjọba ṣàánú wa o.
Although Nigerians have been told to tighten their belts by the current ruling party, assuring citizens that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't have any plan for Christmas, but I just have to be on a low key. I don't know what is ahead in January. We don't know what you are going to face in January, so you have to maintain yourself. Don't rush yourself. The way Nigeria is now, do your Christmas and New Year in a low key.
What do economists say about the consistent rise in Nigerians' inflation rates?
course, for me, maybe this conversation will not be more about numbers, but more about facts. Because if you look at the cost of food in the market, it tells you a lot. I heard a lot of conversations about improvement in our GDP, and we all know that GDP is not a true test of quality of life. It has gone so bad that people have to split a tuber of yam to buy them in pieces, and that is how pathetic the economy has become at the tail end of the year in December, when we are supposed to see some bumper purchases and people are preparing for the Yuletide season.
The recent economic impact has seen a reduction in annual events, usually held at designated spots by A-list musicians, comedians, movie makers, with a huge crowd in attendance. What can instill confidence in Nigerians, and what should policymakers do now to revive the system?
The best way forward is for the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take a step back. But more importantly, going forward, is there must be an alignment for 2025. There must be better alignment between fiscal policy, fiscal discipline, and the monetary policy.
As year 2024 gradually bows out, Nigerians, as well as stakeholders, they are hoping to regain their economic purchasing power to combat the economic hardship and maintain a good standard of living in year 2025. In Lagos for News Central, I am Amazing Adesanya.
Well, great one there. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at what's happening in the world of sports. In the world of sports, Nigeria's senior men's rugby team, the Stallions, came up short 19-24 against Ghana on day 2 of the Rugby Africa Cup, despite an improved second-half performance. Nigeria, who had 24 debutants on their team, were trailing in the first half 21-5 till they fought back in a spirited performance in the second half, but was not enough to give them the victory. Nigeria will now look forward to facing Zambia in Game 3 to push back from their run. Let's also tell you that Ghana's Black Maidens triumphed over Nigeria's Flamingos in a thrilling finale to claim the inaugural WAFU Zone B Under-17 Girls Cup at the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence, Pram Pram. The match lived up to expectations, with both teams showcasing relentless intensity. Gertrude Amofo and Priscilla Mensah gave Ghana a 2-0 lead, but Nigeria responded with goals from Precious, Chimere Oscar and Harmony Chidi to level the score in the second half. With no win in regulation time, the match was decided by penalties. In a nail-biting shootout, Ghana edged Nigeria 5-4 to lift the trophy, capping off a memorable tournament for the Black Maidens. Newly crowned 2024 African Player of the Year, Ademola Lookman continued his stellar form with a decisive performance for Atlanta in their 3-2 victory over Empoli at the Sweet Stadium. The Nigerian forward scored a crucial goal in the 45th minute, playing a key role in securing Atlanta's 11th consecutive Serie A win. The victory solidifies Atlanta's position at the top of the table as they head into the Christmas break. Lookman's impressive return to action underscores his pivotal role in the team's success this season, capping off a historic year for the forward on both personal and professional fronts. Mohamed Salah etched his name deeper into Premier League and Liverpool history with a stunning performance against Tottenham on Sunday. The Egyptian forward scored twice in Liverpool's thrilling victory at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, helping the team extend their lead at the top of the Premier League table by 4 points with a game in hand. Salah's brace also elevated him to 4th place on Liverpool's all-time scoring list, surpassing Billy Liddell. He now has only Gordon Hodgson 241 goals, Roger Hunt 285, and Ian Rush 346 ahead of him. Salah's relentless pursuit of records cements his status as one of Liverpool's greatest ever players, with his influence in key moments shining once again. And once again, we've brought the news to an end here for 9 a.m. But before we go, a quick look at some of the major stories. Federal government condoles with victims of palliative stampede, warns against politicizing incidents. Federal government declares holidays for Christmas and New Year. Mozambicans await court ruling on disputed election results amid fears of unrest. You can watch News Central live this holiday on DSTV channel 422, Star Times 274, Limex, Avo TV, and you can always stream live on YouTube and on Facebook. Make sure to join the ladies at 10 a.m. West African time for Jasiri. My name is Joe Hansen, thanking you for watching. Good morning.